Hi there, this is Renee from Floating Lights Photography. You're watching another episode of Focus Wednesdays, and today I'm going to show you how to swap out the background of an image. So I have this photo here of Sadie, my daughter, and I'm going to swap out all this green background and put her in this image. Isn't that pretty? We've never been there, but I'm sure it's lovely. So we want to first select our subject. And to do that, you're going to use the magic wand tool, which is over here on the left-hand side of your toolbar. And once you have that selected, you're going to select your subject. Now, this doesn't have to be super precise. You just kind of want to generally outline her or him or whoever or whatever your subject is. And once your subject is selected, you're going to go up to Select and Refine Edge. And now that we're here, I'll just kind of run you through this little dialog box. So the view mode just tells you how you're viewing your selection. So you can view it in overlay, you can view it on black. For this one, we're going to view it on white. And edge detection, we're going to do that last. I'll show you in a minute. The adjust edge, if we zoom in here a little bit, we can kind of look at it a little bit better. So the adjust edge, the smooth, kind of smooths it out. See how this is all kind of jagged and ragged right here? It's not very smooth. We want to smooth it, so we're going to just bump that up a little bit and it just takes the edges off, which is fantastic. Feather, that's kind of like the little halo effect around your image, so you can feather that. It kind of makes it blend into the background a little bit better. So somewhere between 1 and 2 pixels is usually good for me. Contrast, I don't usually touch contrast. I usually leave that exactly where it is. And then shift edge means your selection edge, you can shift it either outside a little bit or inside a little bit. So I usually bring mine in just a touch, and to do that you're going to use a negative number. So I'm going to push, I don't know, minus 5%, and it's going to shift the edge in 5%. So that is great. I'm going to decontaminate the colors, and it's just going to take this green tinge off the edge there. And you can play with it as much as you want. You can slide the sliders however you like. Somewhere usually around 50% is about good. So the next thing we need to do is fix hair. Hair is one of those things when you're swapping backgrounds that always seems to get messed up. So we're going to fix that here today. So we're zoomed in kind of here on the hair, and we're going to select this little Refine Edge selection tool. Now I'm gonna adjust my size up a little bit. You can play with yours. And I'm going to select the part of the image where I want Photoshop to re-look at the edge. So it's gonna kind of re-examine this edge and do a better job of fixing the edge. So you can see here it's kind of getting the edge a little bit better. Here we want to do it too. Hair is really, really tricky, so the more time you spend kind of fixing that up, the better. Just fix that down here. Just want to run over her body and make sure there's no other spots that are really terrible. So that's brought it out a little bit, and that's good for now. So now the next thing I want to do is change the output to. So we're going to output it to a new layer with a layer mask. And I'm going to hit OK. And here it is created my new background layer with my layer mask. So here's the before, and then if we swap out the background, we just have the selected layer here. So now I want to take this photo and place it as the background image in the original image where I have my subject selected. So I'm going to take this photo and hit Command J, which just makes this a movable layer. And now I'm going to grab my Move tool and drag it over top of my original photo and then place it here. And then you can use your arrows to resize the image to fit your original photo. So I'm going to do mine about there, and that's perfect. And now I need to move this layer down one, so I'm just going to grab it and move it behind. So now my subject is in front of this photo. And it's not looking too bad, actually. It's not bad at all, but we are going to tweak it just a little bit and fix some of this, because if we zoom in, you can see there's still a little bit green tinge where her hair ends and where the other photo begins. So I do want to fix that up a little bit. And to do that, I'm going to use the burn tool. So you're going to make sure that your layer mask is selected, not your layer. You'll need to make sure that these little 4 white corners are around your layer mask. And then you're going to grab your burn tool. And you're going to select the color range of shadows. And you're going to adjust your exposure to somewhere around 50%. And now you're going to paint with your burn tool on top of the hair where you want to take the color out. And you can see it's like magic, kind of. It just takes out that color. It's removing the gray midtones from the layer mask and replacing it with the background. And that's exactly what you want it to do. So there, you can go around and do it everywhere in your image. You can tweak it a little bit if there's some spots that you want to tweak up. You can always just use your black and white brush and fix your layer mask here. But for tutorial purposes, I think that's great. Now, one of the last things I do, I'm actually going to do 2 things to this photo, but one of them is going to be to blur the background just to make it look a little bit more realistic. So you're going to go up to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and you can adjust your radius to somewhere between 5 and 10. I'm going to go about 8. I'll hit OK. And now I want to add some light just onto this image. I just think it's going to make it pop a little bit more. So I actually have a new action set coming out next week. It was going to come out this week, but my big computer crashed, so that's been postponed a little bit. So it's coming out next week. It's called the Aspiring Light Collection, and there's a whole bunch of movable light in this collection. So we're going to use the warm backlight. I'm going to hit play. And now I have this backlight that I can move around my photo. I actually don't mind it right where it is. So maybe down just a little bit. And then using my mask, I'm just going to paint it off her face. And that kind of just blends her in a little bit better, I think. So here is the before image, and here it is after we've swapped out the background and added a little bit of warm light. Now, it's not fantastic. I probably wouldn't have chosen this, but I know that it is a technique that many people need to know how to do, and you need to know how to do it realistically. So I really hope you've enjoyed the tutorial. If you have any questions at all, you can always email me at hello@floatinglightsphoto.com, or you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/floatinglightsphotography. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.